Respected chairman of today's program, Sri Sandeep Kumar Naik, IAS, Director General, National Productivity Council, Honorable DDG Animal Science, ICAR New Delhi, Dr. B.N. Tripathi sir, Dr. D.N. Thakur, National President, ICAR Bharati, our special invitee and most respected Dr. K.M. Medziphema sir, former Vice Chancellor, Assam Agriculture University, former DDG Animal Science, ICAR, and former Director, ICAR and Mithun. We are organizing this program in collaboration with National Productivity Council, Department for the Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and Indian Potash Limited, the business partner of NPC. As you know, sustainability is the key for development, whether it is agriculture, whether it is a livestock, whether it is the industry or trade, national or international trades.
जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की सुखद प्रतीक हरित भारत की कृषि धन पशुधन मानव जीवन दुग्ध मत्स्य फल यंत्र सुवर्धन वैज्ञानिक विधि नव तकनीकी पारिस्थितिकी का संरक्षण शस्य श्यामला छवि भारत की जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की हिम प्रदेश से सागर तट तक मरुधरती से पूर्वोत्तर तक हर पथ पर है मित्र कृषक की शिक्षा शोध प्रसार सकल तक आशा स्वावलंबित भारत की जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की
Shri Rajshekha, yes sir, please take your seat.
Honorable dignitaries on and off the dais and all the participants, very good morning all. So it's a proud moment for ICAR National Research Center Mithun to organize this Northeast Sustainability Conclave on Green Growth and Productivity, which we are organizing jointly with National Productivity Council. Sir, I joined this institute in last November as director. So within a week after joining, we had a meeting of all the secretaries of agriculture of Northeast, in which the secretary from Ministry of Agriculture also participated. So wherein Agriculture Production Commission of Nagaland, he told one point, he told that really touched me. What he told is, I am happy that Green Revolution did not touch Northeast, because the negative effects of the Green Revolution which happened in other states like Punjab, it leads to soil salinity and increase of chemicals in the food and associated health issues and so many. When whole country and whole world is looking towards the organic and natural, these are the 8 states who are following organic and natural. States after state are getting certified as organic, and now they have become provider of the healthy food to the nation. So, and when I was mulling on these issues, when I was thinking and reading about it, we got an opportunity, we got a proposal through our ICAR, which was given by NPC to organize this a conclave on green growth and productivity, and I was more than happy to do it. At the outset, I profusely thank the Director General of the NPC, Mr. Medziphema for selecting ICAR National Lesson on Mithun as a venue for organizing this program. And let me tell you, sir, this is the right platform because Mithun is a climate smart animal. It produces less methane as compared to other domestic animals. And also it is called nature's gardener. It goes and grazes in the forest, and it helps in maintaining the biomass of the forest also. So this is the right platform. So on behalf of ICAR and our institution NRC and Mithun and all the participants, we welcome you for this program, sir. I request all the speakers and all the participants to give action points, focus on the action points and focus on the sustainability issues in this. So I once again welcome everybody. Thank you very much.
Shri K.D. Bhardwaj sir, Dr. T.K. Datta sir, Shri.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Very well. I want to say give me 1 minute.
Sure.
Thank you.
Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, Nagaland University. Dean, College of Applied Science.
Welcome.
We are also privileged to have Dr. Bhardwaj, Dr. K.K. Bhardwaj.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Respected Chairman of the system.
Very good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Today, this conclave is very important, very important in view of sustainability. Now, after the world has progressed a lot, and once they have progressed, they have also exploited nature to the maximum possible extent what they can. Then your planet remains same. It's not going to increase any volume or size or whatever natural resources that we have. It remains same, whether it is in 18th century or 19th century or 20th century or 21st century. Population from 1 billion in the beginning of 19th century was hardly 1 billion. the world population. And now it is almost 8 billion population. Scientists have been trying to, for their comfort and for everything, for food and better living conditions, better communication and whatnot. They have used every resources on this planet. See, for example, if we take our country situation, when in 1950 we were 36 crore, and in 75 years we are 144 crores. The entire dynamics of vector population and all those things changes. So we have to make our animals, we have to make our agriculture, we have to make our entire environment, people, animals, aquaculture, all sustainable. They can be able to sustain even in the adverse climatic conditions that we have now. Find that many of these 17 these SDGs should be implemented here to achieve all goals. And since India is a signatory to these goals, and all departments are also trying to mold their program fitting these 17 SDGs, so that we can achieve it by 2030, and India could be leader in that. So with this, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. In fact, I came here for NRC meet here, but he said that today we have got some National Productive Council meeting also on sustainable development goals here. So I thought that let us meet all the people, those who really matters for such like conclave, and I thought to attend this and have some interaction with you. So with this, thank you very much, and I hope that this conclave will give better recommendations for all of us to implement it. Thank you.
I just want to request all of you, all the scientists, please not only research the health of the Mithun, but how to keep them in agriculture. On the one hand, the population wanted agricultural activity in their land. On the other hand, we want to also quantify the Mithun population for not only for our economy, but also the national economy, for not only for the local economy, but also for the national economy. And we allow them to quantify. I'm pained to look at that the population of Mithun is decreasing years after years. So, जहाँ तक ये लोग का इतना सालों में research करके आया हुआ है, you might have recommended various things. If recommendations are pending in the ministry, I request Mr. Nayak and then Tripathi ji to kindly approve and dispose it out from your Mantralaya so that we are able to improve and help how to quantify the animal population, not only Mithun, in all other sectors. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much once again.
So I would like to share my views that green manufacturing I have prepared the talk towards the sustainable manufacturing. If one part we can take it as a green manufacturing will come to Indian parts. So in Indian land, not today, from the start of Archandra Puranam about 1 lakh years old till today, the population in India is higher than that of any part in the world. Because Indian system is sustainable system. Biological cell was supposed to that, and any day the average Indian age is higher than that, because that shows that system is our system completely all manufacturing to everything sustainable. How long? You see the main thing, not only we are preaching in our Rigvedas as well as Ramayana and Mahabharata, but also the travel documents you refer Singh, who came India in the 2nd century through northeast, this road, via Chumukudimo. Second is the Pagyan from Tibet. Third is Yuan Swang from Khyber. Fourth is Margo Polo from Indonesia. All have commented that Indian system was sustainable. There is no degradation in our environment. Starting from the resources, even Pagyan are given from the Ganges till the Kaveri river. They have done, there is no pollution, nothing. Marco Polo same, it is written in 14th century in his travel document while he is traveling through Madurai to Kochi, he has narrated the story. Even the buildings all being natural materials and people are using all oil, even for mustard oil and till oil for their well-being. And the people believe that the natural substances will increase their life and longevity. Sustainability, if you take that, it depends on economy, society and environment. Mostly ours is society oriented. Whatever the society feels, without any degradation of the society, all being done. That is the part of the Indian system. Then it is derived after the Industrial Revolution. You see, when we are Indians are manufacturing clothes based on silk, muslin, one of the famous during the last several centuries. From Ramayana period till that, this is the natural dyeing has been used. The natural dyes are being produced in Nagaland, not metal-based dyes. That has been, throughout it has been taken to Sri Lanka also. Egypt also unable to sustain. Then we came to India. That is the starting of the Industrial Revolution in India. From that day onwards, our silk business gone, all came to cotton business. You see earlier also another, in metal age also, people from Malaysia, they are taking tin and zinc by hand load throughout this Chumukadima. They are entering into, they are going to Rajasthan where the open mines of copper is available. There they converted into brass and bronze and taken to Khyber to Istanbul for selling these bronzes at Europe. You see at that time no degradation of the mines of copper mines in Rajasthan till now. Whereas now you see many of the copper industry we started heavy production center, hydrosulfuric acid is reached out and so many because of this industrial revolution. Most of the epics have been made. First century that Chinese invented paper and till India 12th century we are using palm leaves for documenting our documents. So there also no degradation. After the industrial revolution, not only in India, in Ohio that production happened in Second World War, the whole Ohio river set into fire. A river is becoming fire. You see house we can burn. A water body is worked with that much industrial pollutant has come. Then only we woke up and say that this we have to do some effects on this manufacturing that it should not affect our earth. If it affects our earth, this any manufacturing or any activity, it will jeopardize our sustainability.
I have structured it in 3 ways actually. Basically to tell you what natural farming is. Many of our people are still confused. Actually, what is this natural farming? Then my second part will be, what are the kind of natural farming we already have in this region? Lastly, I will be giving a sort of roadmap as to what to do to go ahead with natural farming. But my first slide will be to just tell you where India today is. So far food is concerned, where India today is compared to the global scenario. The first slide, hardly I think 2-3 minutes. Well, if you see that, so we have, as a country, we have 2.3% almost, and world land area we have, then around 4% of water resource we have, 17.73% total population of the world is sustained. We have 12.7% cattle wealth, 56% buffalo we have, and also goats and all that. Now with this system, what do? We produce almost 11% of total cereals of the globe. We are out of the cereals, 21% rice itself we produce, and then pulses, of course, to 25.44% pulses. We are the biggest producer of pulses as well as consumer of pulses. Where to focus natural farming, where not to focus. But everywhere if we focus on natural farming, I think the food security part will be little, to be little compromised to it. So therefore let us see where to concentrate on. the whole system, it emphasizes particularly on sustainability and management as well as improvement of soil fertility. That they do. And they see how satisfactorily natural farming can meet human needs, including its family income and all that. Let us see what they have documented. If not, how best we can use that platform together to see that all the bioresources, crop, livestock, birds, including medicinal and aromatic plants, are all documented properly. That will be, I think, required. Then we will have to see, because it is lot many animals. The region has 5 international borders. So we will have to definitely facilitate animal health and checkpoint in the international border so that no disease can enter. Similarly, we have to try to link up with World Health Organization, because in many places man and animal are living together, particularly One Health program in those areas. And then we have to develop selection-based program for animals so that we can develop quality germplasm. Quality germplasm in a cluster mode, taking 3 villages together, and the distribution of that. Similarly, will be the thing for crop, seed and fish seed. First livestock and poultry seed. Now, then the other important issue, the bioresources, crop, livestock, fishes, they carry a fantastic gene pool which have not been explored. So therefore, we have to tie up with the nearby universities, research institution to see that the genetic resources, the gene pool, the genes these bioresources contain are scanned properly, and the stress countering genes from these bioresources should be identified, and that will be a natural way. We might find heat tolerant genes in them, we might find acidity tolerant genes in them. That particular aspect will have to be definitely taken up by the research institute, going up to the gene editing part of it. Now, also the nutrient bioavailability of the food resources that we have. So that will have to be done for soil feeding, for human feeding, for livestock feeding. That will have definitely to be tried very, very sincerely. I have only the last slide. The last slide, the Green Revolution somebody had said, I think Dr. Girish had said. Now we missed the Green Revolution bus, the northeastern region, we did miss, but now this bus, natural farming bus, we must not miss because we have the strength in this. So therefore what I propose, the natural farming mission, they can have a center or a sub-center in northeastern region so that this kind of programs could be taken up, taking all the stakeholders in the fold, research agencies, farmers, all those things, they are taking together, we must, because it's a big area, 7 states, 8 states including Sikkim. So that will, one will be natural farming, other one is organic farming, all that. Thank you very much. I think I am on time.
Organic is a process claim rather than a product claim. Guidelines for the organic production and processing was laid down by IFOM, and according to the Codex Committee, the definition is like this. Organic agriculture is a production system that sustains the health of soils, ecosystems and people. It relies on ecological processes, biodiversity and cycles adapted to local conditions rather than the use of input with adverse effects. But we generally used to forget that dung, what is the condition of dung, how it will be decomposed very nicely. That point of view we don't used to give due importance. We have to give due importance to it in future for sustainability in this area. Okay, sir. So we have to manage different types of feed combinations with these crop residues as well as Barsim lucency. Here it is only 2 is carbon nitrogen ratio. So if we manage the diet properly, then less carbon nitrogen ratio dung will be there and it will be easily decomposed and soil health will be better relatively, and productivity will be better. So let us go ahead. Strengths Naturally, everybody is knowing that very less consumption of chemicals. Then organic pockets is already existing. Differentiation can be easily created. Rising interest of farmers. Then wide variety of fruits and vegetables we can grow. Then various niches of fruits can be developed, and increasing investment by Indian corporate firms. They are just giving the importance of it. Weakness in the system is short health life, lack of farmers' awareness, and price competitiveness. And then inadequate post-harvest management, lack of research development and organic food production. That is, we should give due importance, particularly giving due importance on animal nutrition and management. Then availability of inputs, certification, labeling, these are the weaknesses we are having. Opportunities, favorable government vision, new developments, then rising demand of organic products, price optimum, WTO offering global opportunities, such type of opportunities we are having, and threats we are having here from imported imports from outside countries. Then competition from domestic industry and non-tariffable barriers, if it is there, that will create problem for us. Then what is the value chain problem are there? Convert farm to organic certification, that will create problem. That procure crop from farmers, that is also a difficult point of view. And processing also a difficult thing, different points we have to consider. And sales and distribution, there are some weakness we are having. So roadmap, we would like to say that how we have to go ahead. Vegetable initiatives for urban clusters we have to develop, encouraging to grow organic producers, to provide enhanced funding to the farmers. Health Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, they are doing it. And then state government to take lead, subsidizing group certification. It is a costly affair. Government should help. Then setting up community-based organizations for subsidy schemes, and government support for organic farming producers group. Organic farmer market has to be developed, and direct sale to consumers by producer group has to be done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are located throughout the country. In Northeast, we office in Guwahati. Apart from that, you can see different locations. Headquarters at Delhi with 12 different regional offices, and with 160 plus strong manpower with NPC, permanently employed, who provide different services. And we also have a strong network of local productivity councils who are set up throughout the country on the similar lines of NPC, and they also work closely with NPC. So NPC and LPC's this close collaboration have been working to promote productivity. We are a pre-eminent organization of Government of India under DPIIT, as I told you, Ministry of Commerce Industry, and we also directly get work from the state governments and state government enterprises, PSUs, etc. And you have seen these different subject areas in which we have providing our services. So we give total solution under one roof. We have focused professionals as consultants working with the NPC, time-bound delivery tech report, and our services are ranging from small industries to the central government. That is our range, because we work with SMEs and also local government, state government, and central government also, a lot of investment. So these three factors are very key for improving economy of Nagaland, but with focus on green growth. So capital, total factor, that is innovation, ICT and technologies, and third, skill building. These three things are missing here.
Okay.
And with these three aspects, if you adopt the middle path by integrating green growth into it, you will be more productive. So not focusing on the volume, but also focusing on quality and service and volume both together. So the green growth is right time to adopt it and combine your economic growth. So we talked about climate change and global warming. So I think all of you know that how greenhouse gas effect is happening due to the various greenhouse gases. The heat gets trapped and global warming takes place, and in Nagaland also the temperature is increasing year after year. So these are the gases in left side. You see water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and whenever we talk about greenhouse gas emissions, we always convert all these gases into CO2, tons of CO2. So we talk about only CO2, but they are all converted into CO2. Like methane, methane is 21 times more potency than CO2. So accordingly, we convert into CO2. Similarly, N2 and C6 also. So these are the different sector-wise greenhouse gas emissions in the country, and you can see which sector emits more greenhouse gases. world scenario, we are number 3 in terms of because the size of our country, population. Of course, per capita greenhouse gas emissions are less, but in terms of total greenhouse gas emissions, we are number 3, and that's why our government has been focusing on green growth, and we are committed to in COP26 to reduce GHG emissions by 1 billion ton by 2030. Otherwise, this is going to happen, and it's already happening actually. That's why now we are not talking about climate change mitigation, also adaptation, because things are already happening. So you have to learn to adapt the adverse impacts of climate change, at the same time mitigating climate change impacts. Different countries, this is given by UNFCCC, United Nations Framework for Climate Change, depending upon their past 20-30 years history, whether they can meet their targets. See, if you look at Japan has to meet its target by 2060 to become net zero, but maybe they will do it earlier. Republic of Korea, same, 2060. Russian Federation maybe can't meet. I mean, that is the prediction. We are G20 countries here, I am mentioning here. Now look at the case of India. We are also doing well, but still we have to do much better, because still we are not able to move in the direction of meeting our target by 2070. So this is similar like Russia and other countries. So we require to do much more. Green growth also, if you look at India in comparison of different countries in this table, India stands here after Japan, after Azerbaijan, almost efficient and sustainable resource use 41.98% we are getting compared to Japan 55%. Natural capital protection we are improving, but still it is 55.11%. So see Japan, natural capital protection pays. You can see in the case of Japan, right? They are 71.10%. Then of course social inclusion, green economic opportunities. So all these areas you have to improve. I will take 5 more minutes. Now let me just go to the impacts of climate change in the country. Suffered so much of GDP loss, and potential working hours, 167 billion potential working hours lost, direct loss of productivity. So these many work hours are lost. Now you have already heard about SDGs and life and etc. Recent budget, lot of focus on green growth. Look at this budget. It defines India's firm stance on green growth. It focuses on India's climate change policies aligned to net zero goal. Net zero goal means by 2070, our CO2 emissions will be net zero. I am again not zero, but net zero means we will be able to balance them. And so much of money assigned on green hydrogen mission, 19,700 crore. So you can see the focus of Government of India based on the last budget, and also the much needed steady decarbonization in the industries. Their government support will be there. These are the priorities: inclusive development, reaching the last mile connectivity and accessibility, infrastructure investment, and the green growth is one of the focus areas of this government. So any effort in this direction will be supported by the government of India. Most recent initiatives I already explained to you. Nagaland, loss of natural resources, biodiversity is already happening in the state. Waste management is one issue in the state. Unpredictable weather, high temperature, high rainfall, these are the impact of the climate change which we need to now adapt to. Rising temperature, erratic rainfall, and occurrence of moderate droughts are beginning already to affect the food production. Increasing number of pests already is being experienced. So the effect of climate change happening in Nagaland too, despite it was told that in terms of environment you are doing much better, but because it's happening in other states, you are facing the effects. So that is why we need to go for green growth. And let me just come directly to this slide. What are the important parameters? So productivity and green growth is focused on production part, where we produce based on circular economy concepts. There is no waste, every waste is recycled. Consumption, we have to see, it has to be sustainable consumption, and whatever waste comes out, it has to be managed scientifically, and waste has to be treated as a secondary raw material, so increase the use of secondary raw material, so any waste becomes raw material for some other process, and of course innovation and investment. So all these areas have to focus in order to achieve green growth and circular economy. Last but not, this is the one of the last slide. Last G20 finance ministers meeting held in India from February 24-25. See how many times they discuss about climate change, climate finance. US dollar 100 billion climate finance per year by 2020. They are decided annually through 2025. So they start until 2025. Every year this was finance. Scaling up climate finance. Net zero targets. So finance ministers of G20 countries are committed to support any such initiative leading to net zero. Climate technology startups will be supported. Climate investments, a lot of new bonds are coming up now, which are called green bonds, green deposits. So all this money will go for funding green activities. And of course low carbon technologies, leading to carbon neutrality and net zero. 3 pillars of green growth, increasing the production of renewable energy, and which Nagaland has a lot of scope to produce solar energy and of course small hydro.
Okay.
I think that could be taken up in Nagaland. Reducing the use of fossil fuels in the economy, more and more renewable energy, bio-CNG, natural farming of course, and biomass and Govardhan, this have been already discussed. So, this is an example. In last few years, the job creation due to green activities, more than 3 million jobs were created only in the renewable energy field. So, any such green growth aspect will increase the job also. And I think I will skip this slide. Some examples of green growth where phase change material can be used for cold rooms in the cold chain. Then biomass as a fuel briquette, and biogas plants again from the biomass, and of course fuel dung. All these examples are of green growth activities which can be supported by government of India. And a lot of green finance available in the country. There are different agencies where green funds are available now in terms of different green bonds and green deposits. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
मुझे टॉपिक मिला है बात करने के लिए कोऑपरेटिव एंड ग्रीन ग्रोथ. आई विल कम टू अ वेरी सिंपल पॉइंट. अल्टीमेटली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्रीन ग्रोथ, प्रोटेक्टिंग नेचर, बिकॉज डैमेज हो गया. देयर इज डैमेज टू द सिस्टम. आप बता सकते हैं. मेरा जो परसेप्शन है दैट आदमी एग्रेसिव तभी होता है व्हेन देयर इज सम थ्रेट, व्हेन देयर इज सेंस ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी. Insecurity could be of any form. Insecurity हो सकता है एक harm का होता है direct, like say criminal is coming to attack you and you attack him in retaliation, or an animal is coming to attack you and you attack that animal in retaliation. एक insecurity होती है अपने future की. क्या? So as a result, हम अपने insecure future के लिए we try to amass more than what we did. And this is what Mahatma Gandhi once said, that Mother Nature has given enough for everyone to meet his need, but not his greed. So it's actually the sense of insecurity and the greed that is leading to these damages, which is irreparable. To some extent could be even irreversible also. Insecurity, so of course I am talking from the cooperative perspective. Cooperative is a social organization. What form of insecurity is leading to this damage of nature? What we are talking today. First insecurity is that of greed. Green Revolution. So Green Revolution was based on a concept that we have to intensively use the natural resources available to us, with the combination of inputs that are artificial or chemically produced. So there was sort of assimilation of हमारा जो scientific brain से जो produce हमने किया stimulant chemical input and the natural resource that was available to us. So it's also called irrigation, fertilizer, and the high yielding seed combination was there. So hybrid seeds. Naturally, Green Revolution का impact वहाँ ज़्यादा हुआ. Those states were more induced or tempted to go for Green Revolution technology, which had prosperity. इनके पास पैसा. So Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, to some extent Karnataka. So these so-called prosperous states, they were more for this green revolution, and that's the reason why these many states or even Eastern India was not touched that heavily by the green revolution. I think impact, negative impact, which now we are saying it's a negative impact. Induced or tempted to go for green revolution technology which had prosperity. इनके पास पैसा. So Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, to some extent Karnataka. So these so-called prosperous states, they were more for this green revolution, and that's the reason why these many states or even Eastern India was not touched that heavily by the green revolution. I think impact, negative impact, which now we are saying it's a negative impact. Sorry, you all are scientists, but I am giving my own perspective. I may be wrong, so you can correct me, but later, not here. We were meeting in over lunch. So अगर मैं गलत बोल रहा हूँ तो मुझे ठीक कर दीजिएगा ताकि मैं फ्यूचर में नई गलती रिपीट करूँ. ये फूड इनसिक्योरिटी क्या is this the only way that we have to intensively use chemical fertilizer, damage our soil and ecology? No, this is not the only way. We have been surviving. I think some speakers say that aggression India में इसलिए इतना ज़्यादा हुआ because world की नज़र में India was a sustainable economy. Why it was sustainable? I have to be blunt to say this. The concept of cooperation has been hijacked in this country. There is cooperative society, but even within those society you won't find the concept of cooperation. You won't find the feeling of cooperation. So chairman has his own group, members have their own group, they drift apart. We have to rekindle this concept. We have to rekindle this spirit of cooperation, not cooperative society. I will request all those who are present here, at least you, be all the torch bearers of rekindling the cooperative movement in any state, and let this movement begin from Nagaland. If that happens, if every village in Nagaland can be converted into a genuine cooperative based developmental model, that will be a great initiative. We, Sahakar Bharti, we are trying to do it. One example that natural farming is focus here, and then I will close my talk. You all might have heard there is a focus program of Government of India on cleaning river Ganga, National Mission on Clean Ganga. I don't know whether you have heard or not. It's called Namami Gange. One of the tenet of that program is that this within 5 kilometer radius of Namami River Ganga, there has to be natural farming, chemical-free farming. 19 it was introduced. That thing moved because naturally alone government cannot do. Government is not responsible for everything. Government is ours. We are part of the government. Citizens are equally responsible for maintaining the system. Then we talk to that mission, and Sahakar Bharti is the official partner of that national mission. We signed an MOU and we are promoting Sahakar Grams, cooperative villages along the bank of river Ganga. Can't we promote the same thing in Nagaland? Every village in Nagaland could be converted into a Sahakar Gram, cooperative village. Do that. That would be a great thing. That's what I feel. Sorry, even I exceeded my time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri Thakur sir. सर आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, इनसिक्योरिटीज और ग्रीड्स टू मेजर रीजंस हैं डैमेज के लिए, जो हमारा डैमेज एनवायरनमेंट को किया, एंड एक्सेसिव यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ आवर रिसोर्सेज, यूज ऑफ हाइब्रिड सीड्स, यूज ऑफ एक्सेसिव केमिकल्स, एंड we need to work on it. We have to think about it, and this is really a thought-provoking speech. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. I welcome Dr. Nachan sir. He is here. Sir, thank you very much for coming and giving your time. And now it's time for the chairman for hearing the keynote address. So before inviting him, I will read out a brief biodata of Shri Sandeep Kumar Naik. Sri Sandeep Kumar Naik is the Director General of National Productivity Council, Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Under his leadership, NPC has taken a number of initiatives in mainstreaming productivity of MSMEs through ranging new partnership and venturing into new areas. He is a member of the IAS of the rank of Secretary to the Government of India. He grew up in Balasore, Odisha. His father, Shri Hari Nayak, was an IAS of Odisha cadre. He has received education at Ravin Shaw College, Cuttack, IIT Kharagpur, London School of Economics and Political Science, and Monetary Institute of International Studies, California. He has also undergone short-term academic program, national and international institutes of eminence that include IIM Ahmedabad, CSTDI Hong Kong, Anzong Sydney, Melbourne, and Goldman School of Public Policy at University of California.
Okay.
He has over 39 years of professional experience in the private sector, Tata Steel Public Sector, ONGC, and the state and central government prior to NPC. He was MD of the National Cooperative Development Corporation, NCDC, and Chairman of the Indian Potash Limited, and a major private sector player in the fertilizer space. He was the Principal Secretary of the Energy, Agriculture, Tourism Department in Jammu and Kashmir, and as a district magistrate of two key districts in central Kashmir Valley, namely Srinagar and Badgaon, in 90s. He was also a director in the board of major CPSEs such as NALCO, MECL, and Hindustan Zinc Limited. With this brief introduction, I would like to request the chairman, Shri Sandeep Kumar Naik ji, to kindly come on the dais and deliver the keynote address.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Dignitaries on the dais and of the dais, distinguished participants in this Northeast Sustainability Conclave, which is of very much importance to us on the National Productivity Council as well as in the Government of India. At the very outset, I will thank the director of the ICAR Institute here for partnering with us so wholeheartedly and so enthusiastically to host this Northeast Conclave in Nagaland. Thank you very much, Dr. Patil, and to your entire team for making it possible. The National Productivity Council, as my colleague mentioned, we work in diverse areas. We are basically a technical professional consulting organization. We are spearheading the green growth movement in the country. When we say spearheading the green growth movement in the country, it means we are providing technical assistance to the stakeholders across the country. This technical assistance we are here to extend to all the northeastern states, particularly to the state of Nagaland, in all the diverse issues that may be involved here. We have a very vibrant agribusiness group. You'll be very happy to know they work in not only in agriculture but in fisheries and also in dairy science productivity areas. Our work involves, it is like the Big Four you have heard about. Normally people hear about the Big Four, but not a government organization like NPC, which are into similar kind of consulting, because of diverse reasons why we hear about Big Four more than the NPC. There are reasons behind that. I'll not go into that. I'll focus on the sustainability conclave here. The speakers before me have very eloquently and very effectively highlighted, thanks to Dr. Medziphema. He has talked about natural farming as a very viable option and a very effective option. Dr. Nazrul Haq, he has talked about organic farming. The way ahead has been talked about my colleague Sri Thakur, how to involve the cooperatives towards sustainability. There are certain things which we have missed out. I'll talk about them. One is, for all this we need money. Where does the money come from? The money which Government of India and our country's leaders have stood up to the occasion and have brought out many things towards green growth and meeting the net zero targets. In the COP26, COP26 means Conference of Parties on Environmental Aspects, which took place in Glasgow 2 years back. Our Honorable Prime Minister, he has committed India to meet the net zero targets, which means we will be carbon neutral, we will be producing greenhouse gases which will be reducing that much, which essentially means we will not be adding more greenhouse gases to the world, to the Earth's atmosphere, than we are consuming. So this net zero target is to be made by 2070. And last year, the COP27, when it took place in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, the Indian delegation led by our Honorable Environment Minister made a very strong case before the Western countries, the developed nations, that they have to open their purses, because the most of the greenhouse gases contributed to the world, to the Earth's atmosphere, historically has been by the developed countries. In India, per capita greenhouse gas contribution for last 200 years or so is minimal. So if today we are faced with a climate change and a disaster from the climate point of view, it has to be compensated by the people who have destroyed the climate in recent years. Recent years means since the Industrial Revolution started, and the NIT director was talking about the muslins and other things of this country. So the good part, because of our leadership in Sharm el-Sheikh in the last COP27, is that there is a loss and damages fund is being created. Loss and damages fund which are more vulnerable. My previous speakers have talked about Northeast, particularly Nagaland, being a biodiversity hotspot of the world, not India, but of the world. So the loss and damages fund that is being created by the COP27 parameters will definitely should be accessed by states like us, in the sense states like Nagaland, we should access those kind of funds. There was a commitment in Paris that the developed countries will put in $100 billion for climate mitigation and adaptation measures. The performance against $100 billion per annum is just 22%, which is not a very good thing, but there are different aspects to it. If people have committed $100 billion and they only put $22 to $24 billion, and though that money is again most of it for adaptation. Adaptation means which we need more. So the new money which is being talked about has to come to countries like India, and within countries the hotspots like Nagaland. Having said that, it is very easy to say that it must come, but we have to be prepared. How we have to be prepared, and how National Productivity Council or a institution like ICAR and others can help, is that the first step is to create a net zero action plan for the state action plan of net zero for Nagaland. Nagaland net zero state action plan. My friends from the government who are here, and also in the recommendations or the summary of deliberations of this Conclave had drawn up. So NPC would like to help the government of Nagaland in preparing its net zero state action plan.
Okay.
The net zero state action plan is the basis on which the state government can make a claim to the central government and then to the international body that we are ready with this kind of mitigation measures. These are the adaptation measures we can take. Number one. Number two is the immediate measures we should aim at creating carbon neutral activities. Say, you pick up a department, say Department of Public Health Engineering in Nagaland state. I'm picking it up because it is essential for water, drinking water, Jal Jeevan Mission. If we pick up, say, it is just an example, it is not a recommendation, please don't get me wrong. If we pick up one department, we can start working with that department to make it carbon neutral, which means if we make that department carbon neutral, that means it is not becoming polluting and it is contributing to the reduction of greenhouse gases. A combination of such things will lead to bigger results. I am not saying that transport is the first target. Transport is the most difficult target. If we look at the traffic jams in Kohima or traffic problems in Dimapur, so transport is a bigger problem. I am not talking about attacking that from a greenhouse gas reduction point of view. It is better that water is very essential to us. Jal Jeevan Mission, Government of India is giving lot of money. We can perhaps look at Jal Jeevan Mission and make it carbon neutral. This is the second point I would like to make. And the third point, the role of private sector. Private sector in our country has been doing, some of the players in the private sector are doing very, very remarkable work in the area of sustainability. To name a few, the Tata Group, Tata Trust works in Nagaland in a big way. Tata Trust has sustainability benchmarks and they want to achieve it by 2035. The country is carbon neutral benchmarks, net zero they will achieve in 9 of their big companies by 2035, whereas our country's target is 2070. ITC Group is another pioneer in sustainability. The Axis Bank is a big pioneer in forcing or spearheading the sustainability movement in this country. So there are very good private examples. We can always adopt those private sector examples and request them to adopt Nagaland state for their net zero activities. And last but not the least is the financing. The green finance, green bonds, the Reserve Bank of India has come up with its green bond, green finance guidelines day before yesterday. Nagaland state, some of our colleagues mentioned that most of the money to Nagaland comes from Government of India. Okay, the Government of India money comes here, but there is a private sector here. The entire Nagaland does not run with only government funding. People have their own money, people have their own resources, people run their businesses, people run their enterprises. The enterprises need access to cheaper finance. Cost of finance has to be low. So the green finance, green bonding, green bonds, which have been approved by the RBI, those can be accessed. And for that matter, the small and medium enterprises which are in Nagaland, we can help them. From National Productivity Council, we can help them in preparation of their project reports, in their certification and their DPR preparation presentation, we can help them. So 4 things I have to sum up. I have mentioned and it has been a real privilege for me to speak on this occasion to all of you. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, sir. Now coming to the end of the session, and we are almost in time. I will not take much time, just 5 minutes only, very quickly, word of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank the DG NPC, Shri Sandeep Kumar Nayaki, and his business partner, Indian Potash Limited, for sponsoring this program. And thank you for choosing ICAR and RC Mithun for hosting this beautiful conclave.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I would like also thanks to our DDG Animal Science, Dr. B.L. Tripathi sir, for sparing his valuable time. He was on his different mission to Guwahati, but he managed to attend this program. And my special thanks goes to Dr. K.M. Vijay Barwa sir, and for attending this program and inviting and accepting our invitation. Sir, he delivered a beautiful talk on natural farming and many concepts we could able to understand. It is very beautiful, and your presence here is always motivating. I would like to thank Dr. D.N. Thakur, National President, ICAR Bharti. Sir, you have delivered a thought-provoking speech and role of cooperative in the green growth and sustainability. That is very important. So thank you so much. Shri K.D. Bharadwaj, Director Environment and Climate Change, you have given the overall idea about the sustainability and green growth. Dr. Venugopal, Director NIT, sir, thank you so much for delivering the manufacturing sector and how manufacturing sector and how we can save the environment and what are the guidelines of manufacturing. And Dr. T.K. Datta sir is already left, and thank you so much sir for attending this program also. Shri Rajshekhara, IPS DG DIGP, sir, thank you very much for coming and sparing your time. Shri Janji Rangma, Director NSTFDC, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, Government of India. Sir, thank you very much, sir, and your views, for sharing your views. And I also thank to Dr. Anap Sen, Dr. H. Kalita, the Director, Nagaland Center. We have thank you to Madam Shakuntala, Dean, College of Veterinary Science, and his faculty and her faculty for attending this program. I also thank to the faculty of SASARD, Nagaland University, faculty of Patkai Christian College, the scientists from ICAR Nagaland Center, KVK Peg and KVK Dimapur, and the representative from the NABARD Dimapur. Thank you, sir. Some progressive Mithun farmers we also have. Thank you for coming and attending this program. And all the students coming from the SASARD, from Patkai, Christian College, from Jaluki, thank you very much for coming and attending this program. I also thank all the committee members who arranged this program beautifully and coordinating all the activities. Madam Nandini Roy for coordinating all the activities here. Thank you very much, madam. And last but not the least, I also thank all the media persons, Doordarshan, who came here and this recording our program. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And last but not the least, our director, Dr. Gish Patil, is very meticulously arranged all the things and beautifully arranged all the programs. Thank you very much, sir, for coordinating.